Alright, Yu-Gi-Oh players, brand new Red Eyes support, and it's supposed to be, I guess, like with Metal Zoe, if you guys remember those cards that were, like, pretty bad, honestly. But let's see if they're actually going to be any good, because, you know what, they've been actually dropping some heat recently, and I guess maybe some Bandit Keith stuff here. Anyway, starting right off, we have the Red Eyes Black Fullmetal Dragon, which is level 8 Dark Machine Special Summon Effect Monster, 3400 attack, 24 defense, and it says that it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned with Enchanted Metamorph, activated by attributing one level 5 or higher dragon monster. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is you can reveal this card in your hand, set one Metamorph trap directly from your deck, and if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. Oh, so then you lose the card. Then the second part is when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can negate the activation. Then you can inflict damage to them equal to the original attack of one of the attacker position monsters. Okay, but the thing that I find very strange is you reveal it in your hand and then it goes back, or if you summon it, you just do burn damage. Well, technically, it does negate the activation, and you do burn them, but you don't destroy it. And I think that that is kind of key, but still has some sort of use out of it. And it really comes down to, well, what is that Metamorph exactly going to do as well? Because remember, you're not only going to have to like use this card, but the Metamorph has to be set, and it's a trap, and you have to wait for it. So a lot of times, it's just too slow to use traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, we also have the Metal Zoa X. So it is a level 8 Dark Machine Special Summon Effect Monster with 3000 attack, 23 defense points. It says that it cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned with the Enhanced Metamorph, activated by triggering level 5 or higher Fiend monster. So you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is you can reveal this card in your hand and set one Metamorph trap directly from your deck, and if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. And the second part is up to twice per turn when your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect, or a monster effect. Quick effect, you can target one face-up monster they control and destroy. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Considering you can use 2 of these, and the other one like can negate, well, you have like kind of 3 disruptions if you want to look at it that way. Only one negates and the other one just pops, and sometimes it could be just as effective. Next up, though, we have the Fiend Beast Zoa. So this is level 7 Dark Fiend Effect Monster, 26 attack and 19 defense points. It says that you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part being if your opponent controls a monster, you can normal summon this card without tributing. The second part is if this card is in your hand, you get to special summon in defense position. Then, if you do not have an Enhanced Metamorph in your graveyard, your opponent can special summon one monster from their hand. Ooh. I mean, getting the ability to just like, it's not even like hand. If it was like, if this card is in your hand, deck, or graveyard, just special summon it for free. I mean, letting your opponent special summon one monster from their hand could actually just like disrupt your entire play, depending on what they go for, right? But during your main phase, you can set a Metamorph trap directly from your deck. I mean, yeah, I really wish this effect was in hand or, at least hand or graveyard. I think that would make it much better. But considering it has that ability to just normal summon without tributing, that's kind of nice. And yeah, I mean, let's say, yeah, your opponent goes first, they pop off. Are you realistically going to try to get this effect and get it off? I don't know. Good luck, man. But anyways, next up we have the Metal Illusionist Metal Copycat. Oh, Copycat was a cool card. Okay, this is awesome. This is level 1 light spellcaster effect monster. You can 1/1, and it's a 0/0, so lots of easy ways to get this out. So anyways, it says you can only use the first and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to set one Metamorph trap directly from your deck. Then if you have Enhanced Metamorph in your graveyard, you get to draw one card. Okay. I mean, that could be interesting. This card's level is increased by 4 during your opponent's turn only. And the third effect is declare one monster type. This card becomes that monster type until the end of your opponent's turn. I really wish that was a quick effect. I mean, I guess you would summon it, but it still would be nice as a quick effect to maybe go for different things during different situations. I think it'd be really cool because, I mean, like, this is kind of like, you know, the evolution of like the Copycat and all the Zoa stuff that we've seen before. And it would be really nice to have most of these as quick effects. Anyways, Approaching Machine is a normal spell card that says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is to add one monster that mentions Enhanced Metamorph or Metamorph trap from your deck to your hand. Pretty good stuff. And then if you control a Metamorph trap, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your opponent's defense position monster and change to attack position. I really wish it was either attack or defense, but even then, if it doesn't negate the effect and destroy the monster, a lot of people see that as weak, but this is kind of a secondary effect. Just being able to just activate this to search, but unfortunately, I don't like that you can only, okay, I guess the second effect is only once per turn. You know, that's not even that bad. considering you can just keep on going for searching. Yeah, it's actually a lot better now, because it's only the second part is once per turn. Anyways, next up we got the trap card. So this is the Mentalization, Enhanced Reflection Armor, or Enhanced Metamorph. Okay, so this is what it comes down to. The normal trap card says, activate this card by attributing one face-up monsters to special summon one monster that cannot be normal summoned / set, and mentions Enhanced Metamorph from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Then you can equip this card to it as an equip with this effect. The equipped monster gains 400 attack and defense, and your opponent can't target it with monster, spell, effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by monster and spell effects. Okay, so it can't be targeted or destroyed by effects. Still a pretty solid card against certain archetypes. Again, like, you know, I always just comes to mind Madolche, Tiramisu. But for the most part, that is a pretty solid effect. Plus, it gains the stats, right? And it's just the equipped monster. So I guess we would have, what are they, 3,400 plus that? I mean, if you get 3,800 is a pretty nice stat. 38 and then 34, and even this being 3,000, it's not too bad, right? And then on top of that, does it protect all of them or the equipped? Okay, it's just the equipped. If it just said like all metamorph monsters or something like that, that would have been kind of cool. But yeah, it's like the card that is equipped to it, right? Yeah, okay. So then your opponent would just really, realistically, they would target this card, get rid of this. So it's, yeah, you can still get around. It's not like a hard lock or anything like that. Next up, though, we have Time Engine, which is a normal trap card that says this card is always treated as a Metamorph card. The monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect. You to target one of them, special summon it. Then, if it's a level 5 or higher machine monster, and you have another Metamorph trap on your field or in your graveyard, you can destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. Then you can inflict battle damage to them equal to the summoned monster's original attack. Okay. Considering they already protect themselves, and I guess this would just be another card, but it's always treated as a Metamorph card, so maybe you can like search off of it with other cards. But the way I see it is the win condition is just getting out that monster, then your opponent would have to get rid of the back row, and then they would get rid of this via a card effect. But if you're searching this card, your opponent would just be like, okay, I'm not going to, you know, do it by that means. But it is battled by opponent's card effect, so they would just maybe bounce it back or something like that. That's more realistic of what would happen. Well, you get to also target one of them and resummon it. So I guess the play would also be maybe to get rid of this card. So I think the thing that this deck would suffer from is just like back row removal, which, I mean, people don't really play realistically anymore. It's just like, you know, generic just removal in the game. But let's say that they just get rid of both of those cards. Now, when you lose this card, it's not like the monster goes away or anything. I just wish that like the monster somehow protected the card. And in theory, it kind of does. Because right, with this card, you can negate one of them, and then you get to burn some damage, and then I guess like you get it back, and maybe you just burn them for game. If that's like the part of the way that you win, maybe throw some Ring of Destructions, Magical Cylinders, but like, is that a realistic way to win in Yu-Gi-Oh? I think it's pretty rough to consider it like an S tier deck already, but I'm curious to know what you guys think of it. Is this deck, do you guys see it anywhere in terms of viable? But being able to just go ahead and pop some stuff and get a bunch of damage, yeah, you can maybe choose a win once in a while, but I just don't see it being like S tier meta. But that's the way I see it. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed the video though, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn the bell. Maybe we'll get some gameplay of this. I was hoping to get 6 Samurais today, but they still didn't add the 6 Samurais yet. So that'll come out very soon, guys. I'm excited about that deck more than anything. Anyways, peace out.